just the student population to turn this country around. But you've got to be serious. You've got to be able to communicate that excitement of justice, that thirst for justice, which means such a better life. Second is, you've got to convey to them that we have a lot of technical solutions for global warming, that they are not incorporated in their legislation. There is no solar energy comprehensive legislation to move this country towards solar energy the way we moved this country to land someone on the moon.
Where are you going, Aisha?
Capitol Hill, for the PowerShift rally.
Alright, are you excited, Aisha?
Do I look excited?
Yeah, where are you from, Aisha?
The area, DC metropolitan area.
Alright. Where do you go to college?
I'm still a senior in high school, but I'm planning to go to Maryland.
Nice. Thanks, Aisha. We're here inside the Longsworth building, getting ready to lobby. Do you know how to go to 1730?
I'll meet you.
Yeah, when you get off the signs.
This, what's it called, the bill that's the strongest in the House right now, which is called the Maximum Safe Climate Act. And there are all these principles that one side absolutely endorse.
Okay.
And so I just want to basically go over what's the most important 4 elements on this bill, which is, we have mentioned 80% reduction by 2050. And the second one is we need a strong national renewable electricity standard by 2020. And 50% is the minimum because we need to have all the utilities to have at least 50% of their energy sources come from renewable energy. And the third one is we need strong standards for reduce global warming emission from cars and SUVs. And that's because, as we know, that cars and SUVs is one of the biggest carbon dioxide emission in the world right now. And this step will push this movement forward so much further. And the last one is we need a national energy efficiency standard to cut down on the wasteful use of energy, because we don't want to just create all these new technology. We also want to reduce the amount of using right now. So these are the 4 essential elements that this bill is pushing right now. And we, as a group, and representing all the students that doesn't have the chance to come here, to ask you if you would like to co-sponsor this Maximum Safe Climate Act.
Do you know if he has any stance on green jobs?
Yeah, we talked.
Oh, okay.
Things like the GM plants in our district are very important for, finding new technologies and using new technologies to improve energy efficiency. And obviously there are a lot of jobs both in, things like building transmissions, but also research and development and those sorts of things that are important.
Thank you.
That was great. That was really great.
I think I talked too much.
That our generations doing it, that they did, but they just didn't do it in such numbers.
And I really liked too because she was like, okay, we're supporting this GM plant, we're supporting jobs, and you're like, cool, great.
Check this out.
Hell yeah!
Oh, this is awesome.
I'm glad you think so, Arias.
What? I do.
That have some hats on them.
How you feel, Spencer? How do you feel, Olivia? How you feel? Yeah! How does it feel? Where you from? What's that?
It's my Empire Station.
True. I'm from Rock the Hill.
Demanding strong solutions to combat climate change. And there's something to be said about youth and youthfulness that affords us a particular privilege to be radical and critical thinkers. That's right. To be radical and critical thinkers. And to function outside of the box, we can say, you know what? We demand for our lawmakers. We tell the media strongly. And historically, it has been us. The civil rights movement, the anti-war movement, university divestment from South Africa, We have been the ones organizing across class and color lines, across issue sectors, and we have been in the streets marching and singing the rally cries of freedom, justice, and equity.
We need people power. We need student power. We need all of you to help us dial down the heat on Mother Earth by dialing up the heat on the United States Congress right now. Y'all get me excited about myself, man. You know, we're excited, and this is history in the making, and I know deep down inside, some of us are already thinking about, how am I going to translate this energy? How am I going to get my folks back home to understand what we can do together? And you're already wondering, some of you, if you're up to the challenge. And I just want to speak to you who might be a little bit nervous, who might be new to this, and might feel like you don't have what it takes to turn your community around, and turn your campus around, and turn this country around. I'm talking to you. February 1st, 1960, there were people your age and younger. They'd never been to Washington, D.C. They didn't have a lobby day. They didn't have an organization. All they knew was that segregation was wrong. And they walked out of their dorms, and for 100 years, Jim Crow had stood. For 100 years, people had been lynched. For 100 years, people had been turned away from the right to vote. For 100 years. And those young people walked out of their dorms, and they walked across the street, and they sat down at a lunch counter. They just sat down at a lunch counter, and they said, no more. Jim Crow has to come to an end, and we will do whatever it takes. We're just going to sit down. And as a result of young people with fewer friends than you have, with less training, with their passion and with their heart, they broke the back of Jim Crow, liberated the country, changed this entire nation. The United States of America was not a democracy until those young people made it a democracy. Those young people made it a democracy. Forever around the world, people remember the date, February 1st, 1960, because that date started a revolution. And forever around the world, people will remember this date, November the 5th, 2007, because the revolution starts right now. The revolution is starting right now. Remember the 5th of November. Remember the 5th of November. Remember the 5th of November. You do have what it takes. You are going to be the magnet that draws all the people with the answers together. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to know everything. You just have to know what's right. And you will be the new sun in the sky that realigns all the planetary politics of the whole nation. Just don't give up your idealism. Don't accept coal. Don't accept nuclear. Don't accept anything but the clean, green way forward. Don't back down. Don't back down. Don't back down. And we'll change this country. Right now, just in the past couple of weeks, wildfires destroyed a good chunk of Southern California. But what they're not telling you is that the reverse 911, reverse 911 calls that they have down there. If you have a cell phone, the government called you. You didn't call the government called you, and you got out alive. Guess who didn't have cell phones? The migrant workers, the Mexican, Latino migrant workers who stayed in the fields and who that we have in this world right now. And you're prepared. You're ready because you're right. Being right will make you ready. Being right will make you ready.
Right on.